And we're back. This is Aesop Grimm. We're continuing our Subnautica Chronicle here. And there we go. Okay, I want to get my timer started. Okay, 30-minute countdown has begun. And if you recall from last episode, we just finished up.
Energy signatures on the island's surface.
We just finished up checking out Captain Keen's life pod, and we're now going to explore this island for the rendezvous location because the Aurora or the Sunbeam is looking for a spot. I know I took a screenshot. Anyway, let's go ahead and get going. Might have removed it. Might have removed it from the folder. Okay. Aha. Oh, you got me. I got you back. Okay, that's 2. I think there's a 3rd. Right. I can't really dilly-dally much. I'll get these later. Let's go this way. There's the 3rd one to the right, up on the wall.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Okay. And moving right along. Rendezvous point, there we go. Can I make this jump safely? Oh, it's always a little closer than it looks from up top. Okay.
We have to board the Aurora, repair the long-range comms, make contact with the other survivors. We can't be the only 2 that made it.
Those are not the orders the captain gave me, and they are not the orders I'm giving you.
This isn't chain of command, it's survival.
My obligations as acting commander don't turn on their convenience. Get out of the water.
If I get into trouble, I'll send you my coordinates.
I can't let you go alone.
Then come with me.
You don't leave me much choice.
Received emergency transmission from Second Officer Keen 2 hours after last activity.
Rendezvous was a failure. Intercepted a transmission from Altera HQ. Seems they sent a data package to the Aurora. We were intercepted by a Leviathan-class Predator before we could reach the ship. Consider the CTO and I lost at sea. Be safe. Keen, out.
That was an abject failure of training by both of those individuals. The CTO, when she said this isn't chain of command, this is survival, you knucklehead, chain of command is survival. Like, that's the whole purpose of it, is to have everybody on the same page. There's a methodology in place. It works. It's worked for centuries. It's a proven concept. And the entire design is to keep everybody working in the same direction. Even if you're doing something, even if a choice is not optimal, right? If it's not optimal, as long as it's not a complete backwards choice, a complete catastrophe of a choice, then having everybody work towards that optimal directive or order is going to work out better than having a few people go with whatever the absolute best opinion was in that situation, while a few others do it another way and a few others do it a third way. The chain of command is exactly the whole purpose of it is about survival and unity and achieving a goal in efficient manner, as efficient a manner as possible. So the CTO there that was abysmal. She gets an F. She gets an F for understanding her role and being selfish, basically. Absolutely pathetic. And then the only thing more pathetic than the CTO's sudden strike of hubris is Commander King, who lets her push him around. They jeopardized everybody, the two of them. One, by not trusting in the systems in place, and the other by just completely kowtowing and folding to that, to a subordinate. I mean, goodness. You could tell I'm a little bit worked up over it, because I know what these things are and I know how it works, and that was just an awful job by the both of them. They both get an F. If they were alive to tell the story when they got back, if I was in charge of their division, I would strip them both of ranks. I guess in this situation, I would fire them. Both of them. And I don't care how talented they are, because we'll find out later, CTOU, she's pretty savvy. She's she's a smart cookie, right? She's very talented, but a little full of herself. And in situations like this, where you absolutely need your people to follow the very basics, the most fundamental concepts, and she's too scared to let somebody else hold the wheel the way that the whole system is designed, that's the kind of fear and panic and self-absorbed, I know more than everybody else, I'm the smartest person in the room, and so I'm going to make the decisions. That's kind of, I get rid of that. That spreads like wildfire, man. That's how you get insurrection in the ranks.
New blueprint acquired.
All right. Do I have everything?
New blueprint acquired.
All right, here's the search and rescue mission. I never looked at it. This was from that wreckage that was around Life Pod 3. Auxiliary search and rescue mission for Bart Torgal. Position Vice President of Torgal Corp. Status lost in space near Planet 4546 Bravo. Age at time of disappearance 19. Only legitimate child of Paul Torgal. Beneficiary of enhanced learning techniques and cerebral implants. Digitrained in advanced biochemistry and stellar economics. Emissary Kassar reports Bart was accompanying his father to a newly constructed deep space station where he was to serve a 5-year term as chief operating officer. This is auxiliary search and rescue mission for a young protege son of a very wealthy individual here. I'm just suggesting that, not definitively, it would depend on our guy's background, what his belief systems are, everybody's got presuppositions and biases, right? But I'm suggesting that it could be that our guy would be a little bit jaded here, saying, oh, I see. The whole reason that we're on planet 4546 Bravo is because Altera got paid by some rich son of a gun who wants us to go do an auxiliary search and rescue mission. Well, remember, well, you don't know because I haven't shown you all the documents, but we're out here to build a phase array. That's our primary mission. Our guy, if I'm not mistaken, is an engineer. And but Altera took this auxiliary search and rescue mission. This is like an insurance. They're collecting an insurance claim here, and to save this silver spoon rich kid, right? Now, none of those things. I don't think any of those things are correct. That you can hear the rhetoric there. The rhetoric there is it's biased. It is stereotypical. It is assigning somebody a set of values and personality traits that you haven't even met based on some surface level attributes that they happen to, like characteristics, like they come from wealth, right? So then you're just going to automatically assume that they're terrible people, yada, yada, yada. You see what I'm saying? I mean, stereotypes go all ways, man, right? But stereotypes also happen to be kind of a part of normal life. And so what are our guys' biases? What does he think, especially whenever you're frustrated, right? When you're frustrated, and it's very tempting to start in this kind of a circumstance. I gotta imagine it's awful tempting to go through a phase where you're just pointing the finger of blame, right? So these are the kinds of things that I try to do in order to empathize with the humanity of the character I'm playing. It doesn't have to be good guy stuff all the time. I think if he was to have a thought like, oh, we're here to save some silver spoon brat, and that's the whole reason we're here, because Altera wanted to make an extra buck from this chump Bart, that I don't think that's a correct view of a guy that you've never met. That's very harsh, right? But under these emotional circumstances, it might be something you would expect, depending on what our own guy's background is. What if our own guy's from a poor side of town and really kind of, he's a self-made man, He got a scholarship based off merit, and he went to engineering school, and he was better than everybody in his class, but he had to work for everything. He had to work 3 jobs while also studying for tests, when some of his buddies were there with brand new cars and everything that money could buy, and just floating through the classes because daddy's paying for it. Right? Stuff like that, We don't know what his background is and what has shaped his opinions and presuppositions. Stasis rifle. Let's go ahead and grab that PDA.
New blueprint acquired.
PDA, that's this one.
What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched. Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing. We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
Shouldn't there be another box with stasis rifle in it?
Blueprint acquired.
Now, as I got caught up talking, I completely forgot to sort of indicate that our guy would be stunned to see this. Indications of new life or human life, and that they'd been here for a while, right? And then the alien purple tablet that we saw. What is that thing? Alien data. This carbon-based device is lighter than it looks and features a symbol which resembles a U lit up in purple. Despite the onboard power still functioning, algae growth on the exterior indicates it was abandoned hundreds, perhaps thousands of years ago. While the technology is far beyond Federation levels and there is no obvious way to interface with it, it should nonetheless be possible to fabricate a precise physical copy of the device if necessary. All right. So we know that this thing is way beyond our own tech levels. Oh my gosh, am I stuck? There. Stop that. Get around this, my goodness. Ultra glide fins.
New blueprint acquired.
Right.
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degazi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not gonna weaken her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing in how to shackle nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years.
Okay, so we're picking up information here. It seems to be only 3 survivors. Oh, I thought I hit him several times. There we go. Paul, Bart, and Maida. And there's dissension in the ranks. And the world is hostile.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief!
What?
Do you know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of stormwater? Or how to conjure food from the air?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth to you today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like, let him go deal with the plants.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bart, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here.
Oh.
Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time.
Oh, she didn't even flinch.
This rain keeps falling. Sooner or later, this place will be buried. Only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
Is there anything else I can drop? Man, not really. Alright, well, I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to simulate that he's going to go ahead and bed down for the night. Like right here underneath these lantern trees. This looks nice. I'm going to pause the video. I'll bring you guys back whenever it's daytime. Alright, we're back. So, let's see. I've looked at that. I've been to... You know what? I don't know which one of these I went to. I think it was that one. So, let's see. Let's go around this way. So I may need to make another trip out this way in order to get some other plant samples. And man, I'm really not doing this. I'm trying. I want to role play my guy a little bit, and I'm not good at doing that. It's something I want to get better at. Our guy's not supposed to even realize that he's going to be coming out this way, so I kind of broke a rule there, so to speak. But I've watched enough people do this on videos that I'm like, man, that's the way to go. I think that's neat. But it takes a lot of creativity, and you got to be disciplined about some things, you know. So anyway, I'll probably never do it to the extent that some people do, but I do think it's interesting. And I think it has real potential for storytelling and immersion. Yeah, I've been to this one. Okay. So I want to go over to that one. Or have I been to both? I don't know. I just flat can't remember now. I get caught up in stuff and I'm not sure what I've done. Part of that is because I've played this game in the early stages so many times that sometimes the playthroughs bleed together. We're having a, what do you call it? Eclipse. Here we go. Need to get onto this side. No. Want to go through here because I've had it where there's a PDA over there sometimes. But I don't know if maybe they changed that with an update and put that PDA elsewhere so that it would be easier to find or what. But I used to find a PDA in one of these little rock tunnels. Okay, I've not been here. Alright, composite plant pot. And
New blueprint acquired.
PDA's here now.
Integrate.
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators. Fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship. And your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking on it.
Alright. Okay, well, for the time being, I think our guy has accomplished his goal on this island. He's scanned everything there is to scan that I know of. Although I do know there's some other things down a little bit further below the island, but he's not supposed to know about that yet. So I'm not going to go there. And the only reason I'm kind of open and liberal about that is because, you know, like, in other words, I don't feel like I'm giving spoilers, is because this game's been out a while. I would imagine that just like 99% of the people that are watching any of these have played this game. They already know what's up. But anyway, well, the primary goal was to see if there were any other survivors at the rendezvous point. And I think he's accomplished that. So we got the Aurora inbound, and it is time to go ahead and get back to base. Every time this guy thinks that there might be a chance there's others around, he gets disappointed. I don't think that's an insignificant thing. I think we should keep that in mind about how that might affect his psychology. You know, it's just one hit after another. There's that old phrase that the hits keep coming. Dude's just, it's a very discouraging, depressing, or it could be discouraging and depressing set of circumstances. And the whole time, he's kind of got to be wondering to himself, how much is Altera committed to coming to get him? You know, I mean, the whole, oh, what do they call it? The corporate state thing, you know, I just, I don't think I would have a lot of faith in that myself. Oh, you know what? That radio message is probably the Sunbeam trying to get a hold of us. This dude's late. I wish I had picked up on that earlier. I really should have treated that was a good role-playing opportunity to treat that with some urgency, and I completely failed to do that. Oh well, I'm new at this. You know, I'm trying to learn how to do it. All right. Let's get up here and let these radio messages play.
High priority automated message from Aurora live pod 13 code. Live pod is carrying high priority passenger.
Yoki Kasa. I said Kasa. Why do I have to record this anyway?
Send immediate burial details.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
I don't mean to laugh at somebody's obvious misfortune, but that was just funny. That dude's annoyed, you know. He sounds to me like somebody who might be some level of importance, you know, which is why he's annoyed. Like, why am I having to do this? Why is this required of me? Kind of thing. And then it immediately follows up with send burial detail. Oh man, like death is equal opportunity, man. Death don't care about your status. Death will come and visit you and barge in uninvited regardless of who you think you are. Okay, we did not get the message from the Sunbeam yet. Man, I don't know if that tickles anybody else's funny bone. I just find that to be pretty funny. Maybe I shouldn't find it to be so funny. Maybe it's a character flaw. I don't know. All right. Anyway, what to do now? We're waiting to get off this rock. That's really all we're waiting for. Our guy's mentality right now, I would assume, is just standing by until the Sunbeam gets a hold of us. So I think he would also consider it unwise to just sit on his laurels and get lazy. Oh. But neither is he going out there trying to save the world or put himself at risk on too many things, you know. So let's go ahead and I have a habit of going up here. This is like my save point. Let's go ahead and save it. And we'll end this episode. So I think that he'll continue looking around the area to scan Rex, you know. But really, he's just kind of waiting for the Sunbeam to arrive for the most part. So again, I am Aesop Grim. Thank you for coming by the channel. I hope you like what you saw. And I'll see you in the next episode where this story continues.
Thanks for visiting Aesop Grimm's Chronicles. If you've made it this far in the video, please consider rating, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. I hope to see you in the next episode, and until then, stay shiny.